Right, today we're going to have a look at uploading an image onto the blog. It's quite a simple process, and we'll just go through it fairly quickly. Right, the first thing is to prepare your image. So we're going to find the image that we want to prepare, and in this case I'll go to my files. In this case we'll just have a look at, say, some couple of touristy shots. Now you need to have it saved as a JPEG file, so if you've got raw files that you want to download to upload onto the blog, you'll need to convert it to a JPEG file. And for those who work in RAW, you probably already know how to do that. Alright, for the rest of you, I'm assuming that your photos have already been saved as JPEG, but you can always check. If you just place the cursor over the top of your icon, you can see the first line says JPEG file. If it doesn't say JPEG file, you need to open it up in an editing program and save it as a JPEG file. Now look at the size of this, it's monstrous. 5.35 megabytes. Too big for us to download on the blog. So I'm going to open this with an editing software. My choice is Adobe Photoshop, but you can use Elements or even use the Windows Picture Manager to do this one. Any of them will allow you to change the size of the picture. So let's open it up in Photoshop, and the picture should come up nice and clear. There it is. Right, now there's two ways of doing this. We can look at the image size, and there it is there. It's nearly 4,000 pixels wide and over 2,000 pixels high. Far too big for us to upload. What we want to do is to shrink it a little bit in preparation for our blog upload. Right, now choose the largest measurement, width or height. Right, so if it's a portrait picture, it will be your height, but if in this case a landscape, nearly 4,000 pixels wide, and change that to 800. Right, now immediately what that does is to reduce the pixel dimensions from 25 million to 1 million, which is rather nice. It's exactly what we want. Right, now also make sure that your constraint proportions are ticked, and in Photoshop is this little lock that locks the two together, and what that simply means is that as you change one, the other changes proportionally. Right, it doesn't give you a skewed image. We're happy with that, so immediately it shrinks, so I'm going to just make it a little bit bigger so that we can see it. Now, do not press save. Do not save this image. You want to save it as, right? If you save it, it gets rid of your old picture and replaces it with the one that you've just edited, which means that you've lost all that quality and you don't have your original file. So we want to save this copy, this diminished copy, in another folder somewhere else. So you go to Save As. In this case, I'm going to save it in the desktop, and I've created a folder in here. There it is, Block Images. So open that file, and I'm going to call this Huts, and I'm going to save that file. Now, when you open this in Photoshop, it gives you a little option here for quality. And we look at this size here, 321 kilobytes. If we slide this down, it actually reduces it considerably. And I reckon around about 150 to 200 is quite satisfactory. 169, we'll just leave it at that. So it's sort of maximum. Okay, save that, and we're done. We don't have to do any more. So we can close that down, and we can get rid of that. We don't need that anymore. The next thing is to open up our browser, find our Night Class Photo Critic blog. There it is. We need to sign in and email address Don't forget that it's your email address and your password, not mine. Sign in, and straight away we get our dashboard, which lists the posts, the blogs that we are administrators to. In this case, it's the Nightcliff class, the night class photo critic that we're interested in. Right, so we're going to do a new post. So here's the new post. We're going to call it Huts. There it is. And if we look along our editing menu here, we find the little picture, and it says Insert Picture when we place our cursor over the top of that. Give it a click. We get an Add an Image box come in. Make sure that this is ticked for uploading images. We now find our image by browsing. It's on the desktop, remember. So, and it was in our folder which was marked blog images. So we open that folder. There's our huts, right? And we open that. One click should be enough. Well, we better select it. That's an idea. Hut. Take a few seconds for it to upload. This little circle here that whizzes around while it's uploading, and then it will appear on your screen in a little yellow box. You may not be able to see the yellow box at the moment. Right. Click OK, and it will appear on your post. Right. Now it saves quite quickly. I think it saves around about every 10 or 15 seconds, so you don't have to worry too much about saving as you go. You can then add your text to this, right? And we can put the text in a new space there, right? So these are the huts at, I don't know, I think they're Brighton. Doesn't really matter. And we can save it, but you notice how it saves automatically? If we want to have a look at that, then it will appear on a preview, right? We can slide down and there it is, right there on our preview. Everything's there as it should be, tells you who posted it, what time, and everything else that we need. Now this is a preview, right? So we can close that again, and we can publish if we want, right? That will permanently put it onto the blog. In this case, I'm not going to. I'm going to just close that and just go back and view the blog again. Right. And we can just have a look